When leaders hide their weaknesses, the silent cracks that break influence. The strongest leaders are not those who never stumble, but those who show us they can rise, with humility, grit, and a truth we can trust. Late last year, I found myself staring at my reflection in a hotel mirror. I had flown into a new city, jet-lagged and behind schedule, trying hard to look like someone who had it all together. I forced a smile, adjusted my dress, and walked out to deliver a keynote, all while my insides trembled. That moment still lingers, not because I failed, but because I know how many leaders, including myself, quietly wear a mask. We hide burnout, indecision, and self-doubt. We fear that showing weakness means losing authority. Yet, that concealment is often the silent fissure that weakens leadership impact. In this edition of Strategic Content for Impact, let's explore why hiding vulnerability feels safer, how it erodes trust, and how authentic leadership, not perfection, creates lasting influence. The pressure to appear unshakable. Leadership culture often celebrates infallibility. We're expected to be decisive, strong, and certain. But paradoxically, the more rigid your armor, the more brittle your influence becomes. Here is some data to wake us up. In a survey of 14,000 employees, only 11% saw vulnerability as a leadership strength. According to DDI's Global Leadership Forecast, just 24% of senior leaders allow themselves to be vulnerable at work, though 48% privately accept their failures. Employees are 5.3 times more likely to trust leaders who show vulnerability and 7.5 times more likely to trust those who acknowledge shortcomings. Leaders often claim they want to be authentic, but few truly practice it. Why? Because hiding feels safer. Admitting uncertainty feels risky. It exposes us to judgment and fear of losing control. Yet over time, hiding corrodes authenticity and relational trust. The silent cracks that break influence. 1. Trust erodes slowly. When leaders never admit fault, people sense the disconnect between image and reality. The leader becomes distant, followed out of duty, not conviction. Small acts of hiding build invisible walls, and walls block influence. 2. Psychological safety shrinks. Teams won't take risks or speak truth when their leader seems untouchable. Vulnerability, however, fosters psychological safety, the freedom to question, fail, and grow. Without it, innovation dies in silence. 3. Decisions become isolated. Leaders who never say, "I don't know," end up making decisions alone. This creates blind spots and disengagement. McKinsey advises starting with a to-be list, how you want to show up before your to-do list. Vulnerable leaders draw better feedback and stronger alignment. 4. Burnout builds beneath the surface. Pretending to be fine is exhausting. Masking stress and fatigue doubles the emotional load. Over time, exhaustion, anxiety, and resentment set in. Hiding doesn't preserve strength, it accelerates collapse. 5. Relationships lose depth. Leadership is human. When you hide your real self, relationships become transactional. In one corporate case, a VP's refusal to admit when he'd take over led to disengagement and distrust. His perfectionist facade became the fracture that broke team morale, turning cracks into strength. Vulnerability isn't chaos or oversharing, it's strategic humility, the courage to be real, with purpose and direction. The vulnerability plus leadership V+L equation. As Duke Corporate Education puts it, vulnerability without leadership feels weak. Leadership without vulnerability feels robotic. The balance of both inspires trust. A V equals showing your human side, admitting what you don't know. L equals taking responsibility and keeping momentum. Combined, they form leaders people trust and willingly follow. Real stories of authentic leadership. 1. Grobler and the Town Hall Honesty. When a CEO faced a financial crisis, he told his team, "I don't have all the answers, but together we'll rebuild." His honesty sparked trust and collective action. 2. Brené Brown's influence. Her research reminds us that vulnerability, balanced with boundaries and clarity, doesn't weaken leadership, it humanizes it. The listening tour approach. Some leaders hold listening tours. Open dialogues with staff and customers to understand fears and challenges. This isn't showmanship, it's vulnerability in service of insight. Practical steps you can take today. 1. Start with inner honesty. Acknowledge what you're hiding and why. 2. Choose your moments. Vulnerability isn't for everyone everywhere. Start small. 3. Make it actionable. Pair honesty with intent. Here's what I'm trying. Here's where I need help. 4. Invite feedback. Ask your team for truth, not flattery. 5. Tell short, flawed stories. People connect with lessons, not perfection. 6. Model healthy boundaries. Being real doesn't mean being exposed. It means being genuine. Why it matters. 1. Stronger influence. Authenticity breeds loyalty. 2. Better decisions. Openness invites collective wisdom. 3. Sustainable leadership. Hiding drains energy. Honesty restores it. 4. Healthier culture. Vulnerable leaders create safe, innovative teams. 5. Legacy over ego. Influence isn't about never failing. It's about leading through imperfection with courage. A call to courage. If you're a leader or becoming one, take a moment to pause. What truth are you hiding from your team, your peers, or yourself? Try this. 1. In your next meeting, admit one thing you don't know. 2. Ask your team for input before deciding. 3. Let someone you trust remind you when you slip into mask mode. Leadership doesn't require flawless strength. It requires authentic courage. If you're ready to lead more humanly, more truthfully, share your story. Let's normalize honesty in leadership. When leaders hide their weaknesses, they aren't protecting strength, they're planting silent cracks. But when we dare to lead from those fissures, embracing our humanity and lessons, those cracks become conduits for deeper trust, greater influence, and leadership that truly lasts. Let's lead that way. Written by Ewere, Ewere. Founder, Strategic Content for Impact, Lead Consultant, Mary Consults.